Alright, so welcome back to the Infernum Mode mod, the mod that adds an extra difficulty layer to the Calamity mod. In today's video, we're going to be working on Plaguebringer Goliath and also the Empress of Light, which makes today, for me, a very special episode. So I don't think I said this at the start, but it was actually a clip of Infernum Mode Empress of Light that actually convinced me to check out this mod. But before we get into any of that, we are working on getting a very powerful accessory called the Community, which is a 1 in 10 drop rate from Leviathan. So even though I'm kind of sick of fighting Leviathan, we're going to do it because accessories is something that a lot of you brought up in the comment section of the last video. Although, at the very end, you probably didn't notice, I actually swapped to the Sigil of Calamitous, and I also went to the Magnet Flower as well, which was like two of the accessories people were like, oh, James, come on, mate. What are you doing? So one of the tips I did get for Plaguebringer Goliath today is to simply use the Plantera arena that we've already built. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then for Empress of Light, apparently you get infinite flight during the fight. So we don't need to actually build an arena. So in terms of like building and maintenance, it's a very chill day today, hopefully. Hey, there we go. The Community. Yeah, so I only just kind of remembered. I can actually just buy a treasure bag rather than farming out Leviathan, which I'm a little burnt out of. So there we go. Awesome. We only got it the once. So this gives an increased damage by 6.8% and critical strike chance by 3%. Increases max health by 6%, damage reduction by 3.39%, and defense by 6%. Plus 1 HP a second life regen while suffering from damage over time debuffs. Increases movement speed by 6.8% and flight time by 13.6%. Becomes more powerful as you defeat bosses. So we're 57% powerful. Awesome. I don't know. It'll do. Okay, so for the Plaguebringer Goliath, we need to make an abomination. Summons the Plaguebringer Goliath when used in the jungle and rages outside of the underground jungle. Now, I know if I didn't read that and you lot didn't recommend using my Plantera arena, I would have tried to fight this on the surface. I know that deep down in my core. So right now, I'm just waiting on one more Plague Cell canister. And I just want to quickly say how weirdly impatient modded Terraria makes me, because it makes no sense. Like, I will happily and patiently spend hours on a really hard boss and not really bat an eyelid. You know, the hours are sinking away, but I'm pretty chill about it. You lot know me. But you take 20 minutes to spawn the right amount of enemies for 20 Plague Cell canisters, and I'm fuming. Now listen, I don't have a Zerg potion, I don't have a battle potion, but it shouldn't be required, alright? Just, come on, mod, give me the enemies. And there we go. Yeah, the true struggle of today was getting 20 Plague Cell canisters. So, dumping that all in then, we can now make the abomination. Or at least I think we can. I don't think we can. I might be missing lead or iron bars. That's probably what this is. Okay, there we go. Abomination, bam, let's do this. I'm very, very excited about this. How big of a hurdle will this be? We are going to find out. What weapon will I use? I do not know yet. Okay, so buffing up then, we'll give this a warm-up. Hopefully this is the right arena, because that would be very convenient. Begin. Whoa, okay. The Plaguebringer Goliath. Yeah, so very Queen Bee, as we can see. As it charges, it leaves behind orbs. So I don't know if I'm going to stick to this weapon, by the way. It just seemed fitting. It was in hand. Might go back to the Terra Ray for a little bit. The Razor Blade Typhoon that we got in the last episode, it's a shame that Terraria nerfed that so much. It's so slow. I don't feel like it would really keep up with modded boss fights, if you know what I mean. Okay, so 2 of these. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how big of a challenge this actually is. Because so far, for this first phase only, seems all right. So I've been noticing a lot of comments recently about charging into bosses. Apparently, this is going to be a mechanic I'm going to have to essentially get used to by the end of the mod for some of the post-Moonlord stuff. So I think the idea is that some accessories in the mod, I think we have one already, You take no penalty for charging into a boss, obviously at the right time, and I'm sure it has a cooldown and whatnot. What is this? Excuse me? What are you meant to do with these? Are you meant to, what is that? The drones. Are you meant to Rod of Discord out? So, yeah, I think you are meant to Rod of Discord out of that. I think that's what that whole attack is about. That shouldn't be too hard to do. And also, it's going to allow us to kind of hone in our Rod of Discord skills, which, for me, are probably quite rusty, because I don't use it in vanilla too much. That was really hard. I mean, that's an understatement, but that actually was quite... I don't know about this one. This one might be rough. Okay, so checking in. I'm only on attempts like 5 or 6, but I think the biggest thing holding me back is definitely the size of that arena. Now, don't get me wrong, if I was a better dodger, maybe I'd stand a chance, but I don't think I do, right? When I'm zip-zapping like this, trying to go up and down to avoid the orbs and that, it's just not big enough. So I am gonna extend it maybe like this much. Maybe. I mean, I might be a bit big. We'll see. But yeah, that's brutal. Okay, so I will say having a giant arena definitely improves the fight. You just have way more, I don't know, you have way more options to actually dodge. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, James, please give me all the Infernum Mode tips, all right? This is my one and only tip. Just make a giant arena. Here's the thing, right? We obviously fought Plantera in that much smaller arena because it was you know, it was a man-made structure, part of the mod and whatnot. I guess mod-made structure. Usually, when I fight Plantera, my arena is bigger than this. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So I wonder then, is this fight meant to be more of... Okay, I butchered this. Is this fight meant to be more of like a little mini-boss almost? Because I genuinely think with this larger arena, we're going to beat this faster than we did Duke Fishron. Because Duke Fishron really did take a fair bit of time. I mean, I literally took days, so it is what it is. Yeah, I do think we're going to be better at this one. But yeah, I needed a bigger arena for that phase right there. Just way too much... whoa, okay. So I might have spoke too soon about Plaguebringer then. It might actually be a lot harder than I was just making it out to be. Especially with attacks like that, because they're not easy. Especially for people like me. Okay, so now we're going here. Did that work? I think it worked. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do like that the Rod of Discord just basically gets rid of that phase. It's quite nice. I mean, I don't understand it otherwise. Are you meant to actually work your way out of it? Or it probably is like, oh, just use the Rod of Discord. That probably quite literally what it is. All right. When we die, I'm repatching that hole. Okay, so let's keep this going. It's taking a long time, this phase. I'm a little worried about the final phase, really. I will say, though, it is quite nice to have a little boss fight that we can chat over. Reminds me of the olden days. So much of this little adventure recently has just had to be me focusing, which makes sense. And it's only going to get harder from here, as a lot of you have been pointing out. Okay, so we are in the final phase now. I have no idea what is actually happening, but I will just try my best. I did not read the text. I was a little too slow to read it, so I'm not too sure if it gave some hints at maybe what's going down here. Wow, you charge really fast. I do not like that. Okay, so it looks like telegraphed missiles dropping down, possibly. Yeah, okay, it is. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to keep a Razor Blade Typhoon in it and seeing what's happening here. The interesting part is you seem to be able to walk faster than the missiles are actually dropping down. Okay. Oh, okay. I was going to wait for my Rod of Discord timer to run out and then do it last second, but I kind of butchered it and ruined my health, to be honest. So it is what it is. I think we must be getting quite low now, though. Because this has been going on a while. These little things, if they could get out of the way, that'd be awesome. Okay, now it's charging. Don't charge too much. This is where my Typhoon is not perfect. And there we go. Hell yeah. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Like I say, it was nice to actually chat over a fight. Yeah, having a big arena, a game changer. So then, I wonder, is this a fight we're going to have to fight multiple times? Like, what's the deal with this one? Also, you might be wondering, where's the relic going? It's going right here. Yeah, we're not tearing down this house. No, we just put it on the other side. Okay, so, bam. Wow, there's a lot there. So, there's infected armor plating. There's a toxic heart. Summons a plague aura around you. There's a melee weapon. There's a ranged weapon. There's another ranged weapon. There's the plague staff, which has 118 damage. We'll give this a go because we are using this so much. There's also the infected remote, which is a summoning weapon. I remember that. Okay, right. So let's actually have a little look at these canisters. Because, yeah, they make something. So they make the Plaguebringer set. This is a donor set. So I'm assuming this is a... It's either... Is it an actual armor? Like, are you meant to really go down this path? Maybe you are. There's a range one and a range one. So it's a ranger set. Okay. Okay. So it looks like we're not going to be using anything that drops. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, cool. So then, next up is the Empress of Light. So the first thing we've got to do is get ourselves, and we might already have one, yeah, some lace wings. It is a shame. Let me actually see, because it does say that this is a material. I would love a permanent one of these. Oh, it just makes one in a jar. Okay, well, I'd love a permanent one so that I don't have to keep farming for them. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm feeling the trembles. Where do we do it? I guess we do it over here because this is quite a large area. So, oh gosh. I guess the good thing is we can actually manipulate time. So getting lace wings shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Okay, we have a new spawn and we have a new adventure to embark on. This is just, I mean, I'm stalling for time because it's not going to be good. So before we go in, initial theory, this is going to be about learning AI. Die, repeat, learn AI, you know, the cycle goes on and on. I think this is what this is going to be about. And that's going to take time. And lots of lace wings. Okay, so nighttime begins. We are putting this down. I'll do it down here. Here we go. The Empress of Light herself. So, the vibe I'm already getting, right, is that this could be one of those fights where it looks like the very best thing to do is to simply keep flying and keep running away with very little thought. But I don't actually think that's what this is about. I think what this is about is really precise movements and a deep understanding of what is coming next. And I think, knowing me, what's going to happen here is I'm just going to take the fly-away route and see if I can wing it. So a lot of you did say that this quite is literally one of the funnest fights in the mod. So that's going to be an interesting take when I'm crying in about 5 hours. But so far, for what I can commentate, it's not... Well, I mean, it's not even begun really, has it? Interesting. Some of you did say that I might want to swap to using a mount soon so that I can kind of reduce my movement speed a little bit. As in like a witch's broom, something like that. So surprisingly, we are still alive. We did just pop off the hill, which is nice. So, there we go, our first death. Most attacks don't really require a lot of movement. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. I mean, that's put more eloquently than I would have said it. But yeah, it looks like one of those fights where it's like, oh, run, 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 you gotta dash, you gotta survive. But that actually isn't it. But then again, it also seems like it kind of is. So, yeah. Okay, so that is now the furthest I've gotten in the fight. My motivation is a little low, admittedly, but I feel like that's a really good sign. I wasn't keeping track, like, how far into the fight I just was then, but I went through so many different attack patterns I'd not even seen yet. So I think if I could just make it through some of that, we might actually do this. So with that being my first time seeing some of that AI and actually just like winging my way through it, I think if I can get good at the first part of the fight and make sure that I go into whatever phase that was, the second or the third, if I can go into that with good health because I've managed the first bit, I think I might be able to finesse my way through it. I don't know. I really need to look at the footage back now and just see how far I got, because it felt like I was getting somewhere good. What is that final phase? What is that? There's a moon. There's lasers. I feel like if I could have just been a little quicker with the Rod of Discord, like I was realizing something was up when I couldn't deal damage. But if I was just a little quicker, spinning around that moon, I reckon that was it. Okay, well, it's a great sign. It's a great sign that we are very, very close to actually finishing this. So, yeah, overall, it's an interesting fight. I wouldn't say it was, like, the funnest fight I've ever had in my life. But I will say it's not been as much of a headache as I kind of expected, especially after the first few attempts. I'm really finding a rhythm now. A lot of it is coming down to managing to save enough health for a very certain attack, which is kind of like this attack, but very fast towards the end of the fight, because as you'll see just there, I'm winging my way through that attack. I don't know what it is, it just doesn't click in my brain what I'm meant to do. But yeah, wow, there's a big moon. Okay, so I think I've made it to the moon phase again. Not really sure how to do it. I know that a laser spins up. Oh, gosh. I am nervous. Okay. Oh, there's the laser. Oh, no. I don't know if I did that right. I'm not quick enough. Maybe I should be further away from the moon instead of, like, right up against it. Or maybe when, say, the laser's here, maybe I should just teleport around here. I'm a little gutted. I am the most broken in this episode, without a doubt. The title's usually a joke. You all know that. But this is legitimately really hard. Okay, I think I've made it to the final phase. So we're going to see what this is all about. Okay. Still don't understand what the moon was about, but it is what it is. Okay, this is a good phase, actually. If we can get to this platform up here, we might be able to survive this one. Okay, go up. Okay, it looks like we've got quite a bit of health to go. And I think there we go. Wow. Very, very fancy final animation. Well, let me level with you. That took about 6 hours in total. So, yeah. That's kind of how I feel about the Empress of Light. I'm very happy I've done it, but wow. Very interesting fight. It wasn't entirely negative, and I did actually quite like some of the attacks. I thought some elements of it was very fun. The Frenzy Knife phase was just a little too much for me. I found that to be the phase I died on the most. Wow, speechless. Let me get rid of this spawn point. Look at me, fumbling right here. Okay, so we'll put this relic down. Bam. Opening it up then, let's see. We got the kaleidoscope, oh, that's nice. That's actually really, I feel like, I don't want to say I've earned it, but it is nice to get the Terra Prisma. And there we go. Right, that is definitely it for today, because that was a bit too much. So in the next one, we are doing, I'll probably skip Betsy, although it might be good for the community. Nah, I'll probably skip it. So it's going to be Ravager, Lunatic Cultist, Astrodeus. Wow. So I guess maybe these two. Well, once you've done this, you got to do the Moonlord, right? Anyway, right, we're leaving it. See you in the next one. Peace.